alongside of Jay Parker and Brian Freeman. I'm Greg Hollenbeck, guys. We're going to get it going with Chef Troy Gard right now is on the show, and we always love catching up with Chef. Chef, welcome back to the show, and it's good to see you. Where are you, in a beautiful park somewhere?
What's up, fellas? I'm actually in Cherry Creek, and I just stepped out of my car to sit inside of this shaded area where my daughter goes to school at Bromwell. So it looks beautiful, huh?
It does. It does. Bromwell, man. I mean, that's my stomping grounds, that whole area. I'm a native Cherry Creekian. I don't know whether you know that. 48 years, my family's. I've seen it change. But Bromwell, when you're a kid, you'd go around to parks and just hang out and drink beer. Bromwell was one of our beer drinking parks. Don't tell anybody.
Cherry Creek just seems to kind of reform every few years, right? It's like I come through here now, the buildings are like, wow, amazing, but the school's beautiful. It's stayed intact, and Cherry Creek's its own little city almost.
We have so much ground to cover today. First of all, how's your summer been, Chef?
I'm surviving. I'm still here. I'm alive.
Yeah, man. Isn't it? I mean, that's.
But take my pulse. It's not very strong right now.
It's not strong.
It's tough out there.
Yes.
But we're doing all right. We're doing the best we can, and hopefully Congress is going to help us again this week because I know I've talked to a ton of restaurateurs. We need that second funding of the PPP.
So, I mean, are you hopeful for that? Where are we with that? It's in, is Congress back in session right now? Where do we stand with any of that?
I've heard different things. I've heard this time around you have to have lost a certain amount or certain percentage of your business. So I've heard anywhere from 25 to 50%. And then some other what's that?
No, I'm listening, Chef.
Okay. And then also, how much money are they going to give? I've heard they're not going to give as much as they did the first round, but we're going into what I consider the toughest part of the year, fall and winter in Colorado, right? We're not in Arizona or California where you can sit outside the whole time. So, there's just a lot of challenging and scary and stressful things coming up. So we've got plan A, plan B, and plan C. So plan A is use the funds and keep us rolling as best we can. Plan B is, maybe pulling the plug. Plan C is, I'm an optimist guy, but you might have to go bankrupt or close some restaurants, and that doesn't seem fun to me.
Do you mind if we have the conversation? I just want to go through your thought process, Chef, and it helps a lot of people as they tune in to the Modern Eater Show to kind of get the pulse on really where we're at. And I really appreciate the candor and just having the real conversations. But let's go into a few of these things. One thing that's very depressing to me is when businesses alike are depending upon the government for survival. You never thought you'd be in that situation, did you, Chef? You always thought you'd live and die by yourself and your team and what you do well or not well.
Exactly. That's what we all want. I mean, if I'm okay to take a licking because I failed at my job, but I'm not okay to fail under someone else's guidelines or rules. And that's the hardest thing to swallow right now is, being a successful restaurateur, as of last year and as of March 15th, and then overnight having to close or file for bankruptcy or, just the craziest things I've ever witnessed myself. I've called old chefs. I've called old bosses. Everyone just cannot believe the predicament we're in right now. And it doesn't seem to be getting any better or the government or Congress is like, yeah, let's help these guys. Let's get them going. Let's get this economy, keep them strong again. It's like, nope, just keeps going down the fucking toilet. I'm sorry, but it's terrible.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, and Greg, Chef, do you think that this money is just a Band-Aid on something that really needs surgery? I mean, are we just prolonging the inevitable with some or most of these restaurants with just giving money?
No, you're definitely right. Like Mr. Tuna, we were losing money for 2 years in a row. We made money the first year. The minute road construction started down there on Brighton, we're like, oh man, they really kind of screwed us. And it was supposed to be like 8 months, turned into 24 months. Like you can't withstand that. Luckily, I've got strong investors, and we believed in the space. We believed in our team. We believed in everything. And then when the pandemic hit, it's like, okay, well, this is another sign to just say, hey, close. We can't just continue to carry ourselves. Now, the other 12 restaurants were making money. We had one losing. I'm okay to have one strikeout. That's okay. But you're right. Some restaurants do need to go away, and they've been hanging on by a thread. One of them is ours. But there's going to be some other issues that keep popping up. And I was just on a CRA board meeting call. That's why I was late jumping on here. I apologize. Going over new laws and what's going to happen for fall and winter and what can we be expecting. It's craziness out there. So,
Thank you.
but yes, some people do need to shut it down, and this is a good way to kind of reset. I'm an optimist, so I like having this COVID thing, meaning it makes me really look hard at what we're spending money on, what we're doing right and wrong. But obviously, we were successful 5 months ago, and now we're all trying to get people to come into the restaurants. And honestly, I don't think the mayor and the governor are doing the best job to keep people informed, to keep people encouraged, to keep people supporting their local economy. And that's my opinion, but I think they could be doing a way better job.
Do you think, and this question just struck me, do you think it's a lack of organization on a national level for showing a weakness that we're not really a strong lobbying force to be able to go out and get those funds or have a presence in Washington?
I think there's a way to do anything, Greg. Like if we sat down like we do at the restaurant and we say, hey, what do we want to do? How do we want to change the menu? What do we want to cost things at? What do we want to do with our new insurance? Because we have to do that every year. What do we want to do here and there? We get shit done. We make it happen, right? Otherwise, we implode. The government just keeps going on. They still got jobs. They still got their security. They still got their, benefit plans. Mm-hmm. They're fucking sitting pretty. What do they care?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
It's so.
So you know what? What I would do is I would get some of the best people in Denver and Colorado, and let's get us all together and see what works and doesn't work. Let's talk. Like I haven't seen the mayor and governor out talking to anyone, shaking hands, asking questions. Like, come on.
That's it. Guys that are joining us, Chef Troy Guard right now, Tag Restaurant Group. This is about as real as a conversation that you can have. And again, being a forever optimist, and why not? The struggles are real, and if we could dig in on a couple of these things on how do we look around corners right now? How do you project? How do you look at business in the next quarter, Chef, and then even look into next year? Planning and any kind of data that you've accumulated over the years is thrown out the window. It's all a gut feel right now, and it's a day-to-day feel. Some places, there was a news story of Bonnie Bray Tavern, and this gentleman has instituted a COVID charge of $2. Half of his clientele or customers, guests, really didn't appreciate it. Other half want to support. $2 isn't nearly enough to cover the costs. I mean, heck, the gloves, the sanitizer, the loss in space to be able to have seating inside. There's no amount of money that can cost or that can cover what's happening right now. But where do you build in? Where is the inflation going to go? Because it has to start happening now. Our prices, are you looking at your menus? What are you looking at right now in order to really be profitable under the circumstances that we're at right now?
It's a great question. My biggest motive is to break even and come out on the other side. I don't need to be profitable right now. I need to break even, not lose money to fail. Secondly, we put a COVID charge probably a month ago, and I was going back and forth. We do $2 as well. And I would say 90% of the people that come in they understand and they do it. Like, just think, it's $2, right? Not only that, I have to pay the taxes on that $2. So now it's only really $1.20. So now I'm getting $1.20 to do everything the state mandates. Plus, we want to keep people safe. So it's not going in my pocket. It's just to help alleviate the pain of the mandates. Now, again, if I open my checkbook today and I say, "Hey, Greg, let's go out to eat tonight." Oh, actually, I think we're gonna have a look in there. I got 800. Then I'm like, we're gonna go big tonight. Like, that's what we're doing with the fall and winter. What type of money do we have to keep this thing rolling? So it's survival mode. It's not fun. Everything we do is about our employees and our guests and to keep the company going. I'm not thinking anything about profiting right now. It's about how do we keep this thing going. I feel bad. I've got some people working me for 20 years since I moved here. You know what I mean? Like, they're coming to me, "Hey, chef, what can I do?" And so that's really the biggest thing. I think people who don't understand are really idiots. Like, I go to the dentist, it's a $20 surcharge. I went to the car wash, it's a $5 surcharge. I went to in Vail, they had a $50 surcharge on the cleaning of the rooms. I mean, it's everywhere you look. People aren't. They're just trying to adjust what we can. And again, there's no right way or wrong way. We're all trying to figure it out because we got dealt this really, really quickly. And I'm just trying to do what I think is the best. And we talk to our team members. We're all on a tip pool now. We never did tip pools before. Some people like it, some people don't. So you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. But what I'm always trying to do is do what we think is the best for our employees, our guests, and our company.
So is that really where we're at right now? Hurry up and wait. Hopefully there'll be a vaccine. Things will go back to normal, but just hang on. And don't try and avoid the free fall at this point is what it looks like.
Yeah, have you seen the governor or mayor say, "Hey, get out there and support everyone"? If you have, then I'll take my comments back and I apologize.
Chef, I haven't seen and it's sad.
Out there, right?
I haven't.
And how come in other cities you have some of the DoorDashes and Uber Eats a cap on it, and here it's 20-25%. Like, they got to step up and make quicker decisions. I always feel like the quicker you make a decision, the faster you're going to know if it worked or not. And if it doesn't work, you make another decision. Stop fucking around and wasting everyone's time. Come on, guys. People are bleeding right now. I'm sorry to be intense.
No,
but
please.
It's getting that way. 5 months. It's 5 months of this stuff, and it's getting intense.
Troy, if you could do one thing different, what would you do?
I think he does.
Again, I would sit as many people down. Yes, everyone's going to have a different opinion, but then we take a majority of the vote. Everyone, I don't know, again, I could be wrong, but on Congress, a lot of those guys never worked in restaurants. They don't know what it means to go through all of this stuff. And let's get some real people out there who are in it right now. Everyone's in a different situation, but at the end of the line, we all want to take care of our staff. We all want to keep everyone safe, and we're going to follow the mandates, but there's got to be some wiggle room here and there. I don't like it when the governor and the mayor say it's 20% worse to dine inside than it is to dine outside. I mean, where did they get this information from? How come I just spent thousands of dollars on air filtration system in my restaurants to keep everybody cleaner and safe? Are they talking about that kind of stuff? Like, there's ways. If you want to put your mind to it, we got a man on the moon. Come on, we can get through this stuff. Yes, it sucks right now, but we got to work harder together. It's too political. It's too financial. It's too, I don't know what, but it's really bumming me out and pissing me off, but I'm not going to give up because it's what I love to do. I've been doing it since I'm 13.
For sure. Well, and here's the rub is that right now you're doing things that you didn't get into the business for, right? I mean, this isn't the business that you love, clearly.
And then last week, all of a sudden, you don't even warn anyone, and you have the health department show up with fucking police officers. What are you doing? writing tickets. It's like, come on. I don't know where this is coming from. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't feel good when I see cops come into a restaurant and I'm dining there. I'm the staff. Like, oh, what's going on? Like, you just busting everyone's balls. Like, come on, man. Sorry, I'm going off today,
No,
but
I
I
love it.
listen. It's
Love it.
these are all the things, and if we just sweep them under the rug and the elephants in the room, and we don't, that's the discussion you're trying to bring forward. And so, if this will
yeah.
create another discussion in either the tower downtown or the governor's mansion or what have you, if it's going to make people think and talk, let's keep doing it. You're looking around right now. You have to be. And your, lease negotiations, I don't even know what to do with that. Folks that are up for or lease or just can't afford where they're at right now. Where do you go with that, Chef? Where do you go with looking at probably your biggest expenditure being your leases, and the landlord everybody wants to get paid down the road, right? But where do you go right now as far as, do you have any advice for people that are in the process of renegotiating their lease or their lease is up and they just don't know the future in an election year? It's a really interesting time to even do those long-term type of lease deals.
Well, first, I try to be honest and sincere. Secondly, we read through the leases, and if you need to spend the time and money on a lawyer, because that's what they're for. But we need the landlords, we need the tenants, we need the vendors, we need the guests, we need everyone understanding what's going on right now. So I can't pay full amount for rent if I'm only limited to 50%, right? So you have to help me figure this out. And again, I only have today to make money off one dinner, right? You're not going to come in tomorrow and eat dinner twice at 6 and 9, are you? So I already lost out today if you're not coming in. So we need to figure that out. And again, most of my landlords are pretty cool. They're working with me, adjusting, understanding. Some are not, and that's disappointing. But yeah, it's a difficult situation.
How about helping you navigate your current needs? And so what I'm saying by that is the 20 grand that you just laid down for air filtration, maybe getting your patio up to specs or expanding things. Should there be an onus on the owner of the property to help you with some of these upgrades that you may need in order to have a viable business, because you rented it under one circumstance and right now you're living in a totally different circumstance?
Yeah, definitely. I think the landlord should help out. I'll tell you one thing. I might have said it before, but I'll say it again. This pandemic, whenever you burn yourself, you make a mistake, you fall down, hopefully you learn from that mistake. So what I know is what to sign and what not to sign next time, and I'm going to be a tougher critic and mandate more things. And I think now is the time to fix the broken system in the restaurants with the landlords, with the food and everything like that. And we need to prevail this time. We sign our lives away, and for instance, if I'm paying $10 a foot for rent, plus I'm paying triple nets, which means you got to pay for garbage and maintenance and all this other stuff. So there's another couple bucks on there. Now the landlord wants to get a percentage on top of that if you do well. But if you don't do well, where are they? They're like, hey, where's my money? So I don't know where in the world this percentage rent thing came from. It's a bunch of crock. And I'll tell you one thing, that I'll be doing business differently. And again, if I can survive, and most of the great ones will survive, we're going to come up on the other end better, stronger, and tougher. And we're going to demand better negotiations, better pricing.
There's no doubt. I love the ferocity out of you.
So I'm intense today.
No, man,
this is great.
Literally,
yeah.
We've got people on the stream commenting, Troy Guard is a boss. That's Justin Brunson. John DeTiro says, one of the smartest chefs, restaurateurs, businessman. around. I tend to agree
I
with them.
love those guys.
And listen, these are, again, thank you for the conversation today, Chef. We don't, being under a rock and the hurry up and wait.
That's what we need to be. We need to be real. I don't need to tell you if I'm Democrat or Republican. I'm for the fight, man. We're going to do this together. And everyone's just pussyfooting around. Like, let's go. Let's do it for the right reasons. I can find fault in anyone. I can find fault in any political seat you're in. You can find fault in me every single day. We're all fucking human, but let's get it right together, man. That's what we need. It's really it bums me out. There's so much hate now in the world. It's so terrible.
Yeah. Get an amen on that one.
Yeah, can get an amen.
Right?
All right. So, okay.
See, Justin Brunson, that guy, he's got it smart. He started in the restaurant. Now he sells meat. I mean, come on. Everyone needs to eat. He's like, screw the landlords. I'm going to go make meat.
And and literally, getting out of the business at the time that he did, probably, he might be the smart one out of all of us, right? I called him Chef the other day. He said, "Call me Butcher." Call me Butcher now. Okay, dude.
Ask him. Where was he 20 years ago? I hired that guy. He pulled in to Denver in his Mazda car, I think, or Toyota. And he just drove in from Iowa. He's like, I need a job. What are you doing? I want to work with you. And we worked together for a couple years. And that guy's a badass. And I had so much fun with him. And I'm still, I think, friends and buddies with him.
All right, we could talk to you all day. And I know you got to run. You're probably picking the kid up from school. What time is it? 2:44. Oh, school's in. Is school in session?
It actually starts on next week. But I just happen to be in Cherry Creek. Visiting a friend over at Hillstone, grabbing some lunch, and I was like, I'm going to go in the shade. I'm tired of sitting in an air conditioning car or restaurant. I want some fresh air. So
yeah, no doubt. Have you, at Hillstone there, have you had their French dip?
That's what I had today, baby.
Dude, off the hook, isn't it? Okay, so where do we go from here? Where we go from here is attitude.
Well, we're going to be cooking soon, right?
That's what I was going to say. So what's really weird about this is Brunson's dinner this next week, right? And then you close it out. And actually, as I reflect on the summer, Chef, we're running a top game right now for these dinners. We've got it all coordinated. Awesome. And so I'm kind of glad that you pushed the date so that you could get ready for us to the last one, because we're going to be locked and loaded for you, baby. It's going to be good. 2 more to go.
Yeah, send me some information on email
so
I can plug it out on my... What was that?
Oh, we got the next interview's up here. I think they were like, "Oh my God, it's Troy Guard."
Hey, send me some info. We'll put it on social media and sell this baby.
We don't have to. It's sold out, man. What are you talking about?
Well, darn it! Awesome.
It's done.
So if you have tickets and you want to sell them for more, you can right now, I guess.
There's a scalper market for the Modern Eater summer dinner series. I like it.
Capitalism.
Man, Chef, thanks for catching up. What else? One last thing. I was really impressed on, first of all, kids in the kitchen. That's very important, getting kids into the kitchen. And you do a lot of that work, too. Do you mind giving me 30 seconds on kids in the kitchen?
Yeah, it's so important. Yesterday, my son was making banana bread with me. We had extra bananas, and we had zucchini in the garden that we took out. And I'll send you a picture. He was loving it. And my daughter, Grace, loves to be in the kitchen. I know I liked it at a small age. I think it's important. Kids need to know where their food comes from. They need to take care of themselves. Yes, eating out is quick and easy, but it's better when you make it yourself.
Zach Christofferson from the stream says, dropping that Braveheart speech. Get it. I love it. The community. We've got.
Hey, thanks to everyone who's listening. Thanks to you guys. Yeah. You do an amazing job, Greg and team. And thanks again for having me on.
Go get it, Chef. Thank you. And we'll catch up 2 weeks. 2 weeks we'll see you.